from Matlacha and Pine Island to give us a sense of what it's like on the ground.
So those evacuations here on Pine Island wrapped up within the last hour. I'm going to talk more about that in just a second, but first I want to talk about some breaking news I learned within the last 30 minutes. I have learned from Lee County, as we zoom in now on the road here onto Matlacha and Pine Island, that Lee County does plan to have a temporary road in place by next Saturday. That's 6 days from now, October 8th. That's when they say they plan to restore service to where folks can get on to the island and folks on the island can get on to the mainland. Now that will not be a permanent road. That does not mean that people can go start touristing and vacationing there. Basically what that means, it's going to allow crews and families to get onto the island if they need to, get anything else that they need, and allow crews to get on there and start the cleanup and the work there as well. So look at the devastation that we are looking at right now. It is just heartbreaking to see. Of course, we're right here in Matlacha. If you're familiar with this area, it's almost a rite of passage. When you move here, you got to go check out all the awesome restaurants and bars that were lining here, the unbelievable views that you had. I was having dinner with my wife here on Pine Island not even 3 weeks ago. That restaurant that we were at, I'm told, has been destroyed. The places that we used to go to so often are gone. Let's talk about the evacuations. I was talking with folks here today. Of course, because that road was gone, you saw that it's hard to see now because the big construction equipment is there. The road just ends. It was wiped away. It's hard to tell how much damage was done to the bridge. I know they're still looking at that, but the road itself was gone. So the folks that were on the island were stranded there. So starting today, the U.S. Coast Guard had all of those residents meet at the fire department in Pine Island. They were then ferried over here, right over here to where I am standing. Basically, this is Gulf Coast Kayaks is the area, and the folks would get there. Actually, as we're looking at it right now, we are seeing they are not done for the night. Andy, this is happening live, folks. This was an evacuation that just happened. These folks were just let off the island literally just within seconds ago. You see this. It's heartbreaking to see. I mean, they're literally carrying their life's possessions right here, many of them in trash bags, right? Or they have backpacks, or maybe they're lucky enough to have a suitcase there as well. And right now they're waiting for a ride. So they were ferried by the U.S. Coast Guard from Pine Island. It's really not very far over here to the mainland, and then they get off. And there have been Lee Tran buses that were taking folks to shelters. Otherwise, they're waiting on friends and family to come pick them up, and they get all of their sole possessions. I've been talking with folks all day as they've been getting off the island. I asked one guy, I said, "What is it like there?" And he said he was there for 5 days, stranded for 5 days. He doesn't plan to ever go back to Pine Island. That's how bad he says it was. Others talk about there was fear on the island. You know, rumors were spreading. You got to think about the fact that they were literally just trapped there on the island for 5 days. No way of getting out, you know, especially for the first couple of days after the hurricane. A lot of us know this. We didn't have a very good cell reception, no internet, so they couldn't get in touch with the outside world. And even though they were literally just a couple of miles away, it felt like they were literally an entire world away because they couldn't reach anybody, and they felt like they were trapped there. I asked another lady what it's been like for the last 5 days, and she said she was actually visiting a friend. She doesn't even live here on Pine Island, and she cannot wait to get home. Other people talked about sad stories about their homes being destroyed, or you know, their businesses being gone. So really heartbreaking stories that were here as we saw those evacuations. At least one more kept on going. A lot of the reason I was saying they were gone is that I saw one of the Coast Guard trucks pull away. So obviously there were a few more evacuations that happened there. But that was the story there for today. But again, more breaking news. The road there, county officials say they do plan to have it reopen 6 days from now, October 8th. And that way, in case any folks did not want to leave the island, or if they need to get back on the island to collect any more belongings, they can. That is the plan. So that is it for now as we report live from Matlacha. I'm Ryan Kruger, Fox 4.